Greetings once more. This is our second video, still on our tutorial questions, tutorial question 1 and activity 1. We have done question 1. I hope you guys understood it. Now we're gonna pass on question 2 and question 3. Question 2 says, use information in the observation sheet form to calculate the sample size for element 1, 3, and 5. Here is the observation sheet form. It's already given and the data is given. In this specific activity, we are not given the data under the question, but then we have to follow it in the sheet. So be careful when trying to answer this question. In other activity, you may be given already the data under the question. So you may be given the whole table or the whole cycles. Let's say element 1, you're given the data, element 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, depending on how many elements you're going to have. But then they're going to ask you to calculate for element 1 and 4, for element 1 and 3, for element 2 and 5 only, or they might ask you to calculate for all the elements. But before going further, we are not going to solve question 2 now, but we'll jump it and do it later after we've done with question 3. Then I will explain why we skipped it and how to solve question 2 in a case we are not given it. We're not given the data under the question, a question that looks like this one. Okay, we're going to proceed with question 3. Use the provided forms sheet to calculate the following: total basic time, element basic time, total representative basic time, allowances, standard time, and allowed time in standard time hours. And in these activities, specific activities, the allowances are given: policy allowance of 2%, fatigue allowance of 3%, work contingency 2.3%, and delay allowance 1.5%. Remember, always be careful. Sometimes you will be given this right here in your question, or it will be given in a form of a case study. You just need to be able to pick them up. But I believe in your activity 2 or I believe activity 3, it's given in other form. So let me prepare you well for the upcoming test. Now we're going to proceed. This is the question and this is our first form, time study form. We have our element number 1 to 6. We have our ratings and we have our observed time. We have our basic time and we have our total basic time. In this activity, we are given the ratings. In other activity, you may not be given the rating. Whereby you are given the rating, then you have to find the basic time. Sometimes the rating won't be given, the basic time won't be given, but then they ask you to calculate the total basic time. Before confusing you, let's start with what we have. In this case, for us to calculate the basic time, we're going to proceed with 100 times 30. Then you divide it by 100. I'm going to repeat that one more time. For us to find the basic time, you take out element 1 in cycle 1. And remember, we've explained this in class. This is your cycle 1, cycle 2, cycle 3, cycle 4, and cycle 5. And each of the cycle has 6 elements. If we may proceed, then they're asking us to calculate the total basic time for each so that we may move on. I'm going to repeat this again. For you to calculate or for you to obtain your basic time or your first element in your first cycle, you have to take 100, you multiply it by 30.01, then you divide the answer by 100, which should give you 30.01. I hope that was clear enough. We're going to go on to our second element in cycle 1, it's going to be the same procedure. It's going to be 110 multiplied by 36.10. You divide it by 100. The answer should give you 39.71. We carry on. Same thing. You're going to take 90 multiplied by 41.50. You take the answer and you divide it by 100, which should give you 37.35. And that's how you go to find your basic time for each of the elements in each of the 4 or the 5 cycles. Alright, so the next one is just gonna be 52.68, and right, this one it's gonna be 33.82. We do not have anything, any rating for element 6. We do not have, that's why we cannot also calculate its basic time. By then, for you to find your total basic time, you are gonna sum all your basic time of all your elements in your cycle 1. So it's gonna be 30.01 plus 39 plus 71 plus 37 plus 35 plus 52 plus 68 plus 33.87, and the answer should give you 193.57. And that's how you get your total basic time. And you're going to proceed the same way for your cycle 2, for your cycle 3, and for your cycle 4, and for your cycle 5, without forgetting to calculate as well your total basic time, which you can highlight or put in a different color when writing for your tests or your second test or your final test. I hope this is clear, and I hope it's much easier, and I hope for those who couldn't attend it, the tutorial or the class, understand this. Right, we're gonna move on to our second sheet, which is time study analysis sheet. But before moving on, we need to finish with this. I'm gonna stop this video here, and we're gonna do the time analysis sheet in another video.